All right, team. This week on the show, joined by a very special talent. He is the TNA X-Division champion, Leon Slater, the youngest man to ever hold that championship, and someone that I'm a massive fan of personally. So it was great getting the chance to talk to Leon. Thanks for TNA for that opportunity, and check out the interview. Hope you enjoy. And joined now by the X Division champion, the TNA X Division champion, Leon Slater. Leon, I have to say, it's the coolest title in wrestling, at least for like a guy of my age. I grew up thinking that's just the coolest belt, the coolest division. Like, how proud are you to represent the X Division in TNA?
It definitely is the coolest division in wrestling. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, like it's an honor. You kind of touched on it there, but like so many people have grown up watching the X Division, being inspired by the X Division, and I'm one of them, right?
Yeah.
So to be at the head of the ship and leading the X Division into kind of what I picture it being and what my vision is for it in 2025 is an opportunity I'm extremely grateful for. And it's something that I'm super proud to have accomplished at this point in my career.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And we're talking about inspiration and legacy. I believe that you have a treat for anyone listening with regards to TNA Plus, isn't that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for all my UK and Ireland folks that are out there watching this right now, if you use code Leon YIC, that's LEON YIC, you can get a free month of TNA Plus. So all the current TNA, all the momentum that we're building, you get to witness it firsthand. All the 23 plus year lineage and legacy of TNA, all some of the greatest matches to ever grace planet Earth. You can watch it for free for a month with code Leon YIC.
I love that so much. And we're talking about inspiration, talking about the X Division. If someone's to go into TNA Plus right now, which Leon Slater match should they check out first? And which classic X Division bout should they also check out?
Damn, that's a good question. Which Leon Slater match should they check out? I'm inclined to say my most recent one against Cedric Alexander at Emergence. My
Nice.
first title defense on a TNA special. And it was pretty special, man. I was super happy with it. And I think it's the best representation of what Leon Slater is all about in 2025. And as far as a classic goes, I think I have to go with the obvious pick, and I'm gonna suggest the Unbreakable Three-Way: Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels from 2005. It's a tale as old as time, but it is that a reason, right? It is an absolute classic, and it is one of the best matches of all time.
It's absolutely brilliant, and it's a lot of people's favorite match. Whenever
Yeah,
you
man.
ask it,
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
are certain elk, and like you say, there's a good reason for that. But I want to go back to the beginning, almost post wrestling, because whenever I get someone on the show, I'm always fascinated by the movies and TV shows that they
Oh
remember
yeah.
watching growing up. So, what are the childhood favorites for Leon Slater?
So childhood favorites, as far as movies go, my two biggest ones when I was a kid that I can remember at least were Deadpool and the Lego Movie.
Nice.
I know they're very contrasting, but I think they came out at like around the same time, and I managed to get them both on DVD. Um, and like I've always loved the Marvel films. Like Spider-Man was always a huge one for me growing up, whether that's like the Sam Raimi trilogy or the Andrew Garfield the couple that he has acted in as well. So like the Marvel stuff was super big for me growing up, and the Lego movie. I don't know what it was about the Lego movie, bro, but that just hit the spot when I was younger. Like the everything is awesome. Like the whether it was the song, the movie itself, that animation, because it was kind of the first of its kind in terms of Lego, you know.
Yeah.
So Deadpool and the Lego movie definitely stick out, but I've always been a huge fan of Spider-Man as well.
That's brilliant. And I think both of them are quite meta movies, Deadpool and Lego movies. So maybe that's it. And
Yeah,
I remember you're probably too young. A lot of people didn't think both would work. So maybe it's that Leon
really.
Slater likes an underdog. I don't know.
Maybe I
Yeah.
do. Yeah, maybe I do.
I absolutely love that. And talking about going back to that time as well, like, did you always know that you wanted to be a wrestler from very young, or was like another profession ever in the back of your mind to go and pursue?
I kind of wish there was another profession in my head because I think that's a cooler story. Like if I could tell you, like, oh, I wanted to be an astronaut and I've ended up being like a wrestler or something. But no, like ever since I can remember, this has been what I've wanted to do, you know. So to be able to have called this my full-time job for the past couple of years now, obviously, like I'm grateful to be still living at home. Like I'm in a very lucky position right now, but I really am living the dream as the X Division champion in 2025.
Yeah, I think that's much cooler. I think it's much cooler that you've
You
had
think
this
so?
happen. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can see both sides. I can see both sides.
I absolutely love that. And we've talked about like the inspiration, obviously, from the X Division classics of old, and talked about the movies you loved when you were young. What art is out there right now that inspires Leon Slater? So not necessarily wrestling, but
Mhm.
music and movies and TV shows that you're seeing. Is there anything that you're taking inspiration from that you've seen recently?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So like music has always been a huge thing for me when it comes to forming no, I guess not only me as a wrestler, but me as a person, you know what I mean? Whether that's um some like old school SmackDown versus Raw kind of new metal where we go like Linkin Park and a little bit of Limp Bizkit and all them type of things that I grew up on, or whether it's a bit more recent and we go with some rap and hip hop and R&B stuff, or even some drum and bass stuff I've been getting into recently. So music has always played um, a huge part for me. And like something that's really inspiring me right now is the UK underground rap scene right now. Like there's people in different pockets of the UK, whether it's SD Kid up in Liverpool or Fimi Guerrero down in London. There's so many unique artists that are popping up right now that are kind of blending all these different styles together. And like for me as a wrestler, that's kind of where I try and slot myself in, where I like to think I'm not your typical high flyer. Like I try and spruce in a little bit of a different style, you know what I mean? And really just that uniqueness of what's going on in the UK underground right now is what I'm trying to bring to wrestling. Like nobody wears the jacket I wear, nobody wears the pants I wear, nobody does the moves I do, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like it all kind of folds into being one in the same with my inspiration and what I'm putting out into the world right now.
Yeah, wanting to be unique, wanting to set yourself apart. And you are uniquely on, like, and not just saying this, it's an inspirational story because you are extremely young to be performing at the
Yeah.
level that you're performing at. I have to ask, like, what was your family's reaction when you first got into wrestling? And then seeing your progression and how quickly your rise has gone.
So I've been again super lucky, man. Where like my family, whether it's my mum, my sister, my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles, my cousins, you know, everyone's always been super behind me. And like I've heard a bunch of stories where people's parents, which understandably have been like, oh, maybe not that. Like maybe let's go to school first and get a real job and da 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 da, and then we can go to that. But like, man, I started training at 9 years old, so like there is absolutely no way I would have been able to do what I've done and gonna do what I'm gonna do if it wasn't for how supportive my family have been. You know what I mean? So it was already a huge, almost leg up for me having that huge level of support underneath me since day one, and then. Obviously, they've been with me that whole ride from 9 years old to being 20 now as the X Division champion. They've had my back this entire way, and like to have them there at Slammiversary when I kind of got that crowning achievement in my career so far is something that's incredibly special and I'm never ever going to forget.
Nice. And who's the biggest wrestling fan in your family right now, then, on this journey?
That's tough. That's tough. I feel like before me, she probably wasn't, but I think right now it's got to be my mom. Like, bro, you'll be
Nice.
surprised how much she's like keeping up with the dirt sheets and like seeing, oh my God, like he signed a contract with TNA for how long? And oh my God, like she's just been released and oh, like he just won that belt. Like she's a real fan. Like even when it comes past me, I'm not even sure if I'm her favorite wrestler anymore. That's how big of a fan she's turned into. But yeah, my
Who
mom
are
has
our
been
favorites?
so her favorites were, or at least like I'm not sure about recently, honestly, but like I always remember when I was growing up, her favorites were Kofi Kingston because he kind of looked like my dad a little bit, so she kind of had a little thing for him. And she really liked Randy Orton as well, and then obviously I was kind of stuck in the number three spot. But I think those are her goats if you want to put it, but if you want to term it like that. But yeah, my mum has turned into a huge wrestling fan.
Nice. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. And it's weird, like your parents kind of take on your passions eventually, just
Yeah,
because they're forced to like engage with them and nothing
exactly,
else. So they're just like,
exactly.
I know another passion of yours, but like, obviously we cover films, and it's been
Mhm.
a brilliant year for horror movies. That's been
Yes,
an absolutely phenomenal year for horror movies. So I want
it
to talk
has.
horror movies with you, Leon. The best modern horror movie you saw, like very recently, and then what's the goat, the all-time goat?
How recently are we talking here?
You can be probably 2020s. Let's go 2020s then.
2020. Was Hereditary 2020s, or I feel like that was just before. Was that 2019?
It was 2019. Very good knowledge to get 2019, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
2019. Yeah.
Hereditary. So like for me, that's in my top three. But if we're talking a little bit more recent, um, damn, what's come out in this century? Midsummer. Midsummer came out after Hereditary, right? That
Yes, it did.
was yeah.
Yeah.
So again, like like that kind of Ari Aster. It's not quite a trilogy yet, I don't think. But that kind of Ari Aster A24 series of films is always like go-tos for me. If we're talking just again a little bit before the 2020s, I'm a big fan of Jordan Peele. So Us and Nope and Get Out, also classics for me. And if we're talking all time, for me. Halloween, the original Halloween is always gonna be on top of the list. I'm a huge Michael Myers guy. It's kind of weird to say, but I think he's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like he is the slasher. You know what I mean? Like you can have your Freddy's, you can have your Art the Clowns, you can have your Jasons, but for me, like Michael is number one, and Michael's gonna always gonna be the GOAT for sure.
I absolutely love that. And Ari Aster's movie is out this weekend over
Which
in
one?
Eddington. Eddington, it's out this
Oh, that's the
weekend.
one with Joaquin Phoenix is in that, right?
Yeah, Wackett and Pedro Pascal as well, but Pedro Pascal's in everything,
Wow.
so that doesn't help.
Yeah,
So,
that's wild. Yeah, yeah, that guy's everywhere.
he's
Okay,
absolutely
damn, that
everywhere.
sounds fun. Yeah, I got to check that out.
Let's talk about which horror movie icon do you think would fit best in the world of wrestling then?
Damn, that's tough. Um, I I want my heart is telling me Michael Myers, like I
Too
said, because
slow.
he's my number one. But again, he's too slow, right? He really is too slow. So my brain is telling me Art the Clown would make a fantastic wrestler. Not only is he has a little bit of taste for that kind of ultra-violent hardcore style, you know what I'm saying? He's funny too, man. Like he has the personality, and although he doesn't speak, I feel like if he did, he would be a hell of a promo. He's fast, he's quick, he's got a unique look, he's funny, he's violent. And those are really all the keys that you need to make a great professional wrestler, you know what I mean? So if I was gonna pick a horror movie icon to become a professional wrestler, it would be Art the Clown. But if I was ever in a match with him, I would quit the business and burn my boots immediately because I'm not doing that.
See, that's the thing. Michael
I'm not
Myers,
doing that.
you're too fast for Michael Myers, but Art the
Yeah,
Clown, he's a bit
he
better.
has a bit more of a chance. Yeah,
Nice. I want a faction of ghost faces. That's what I want. Just
that would be sweet. That would
yeah.
be sweet. Yeah,
But
yeah,
just
yeah.
falling all about the place because they can't stand on their 2 feet for too long. They just they keep falling down. Leon, you've got what should be a wide career ahead of you. There's a lot of time left to achieve a lot of goals. In
Mhm.
TNA, what's the next goal? Because the X Division title is now in your grasp. So what's the next
Absolutely.
aim that you've got?
So for me, like I've said it in promos before, I've said it in interviews before. I like to think of myself as a little bit of a record breaker, right? A little bit of a moment maker. So for me, before I'm done with the X Division Championship, I don't know what the next step is, but I know it's going to be something history making. Whether that's me being the longest reigning X Division champion of all time, or having the most defenses in a single reign, or even if that next step is cashing in option C and going for the world title, if nobody else can bring that back from Trick Williams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In 2025, there is literally like no ends to what we can do as professional wrestlers. There is endless possibilities. So I'm super excited to see what the road ahead is going to bring.
Nice. I love that. And I can't talk about, we've talked about the future and we've talked about inspiration. I can't not bring up AJ Styles
Absolutely.
in that moment. What did that mean to you?
It meant everything, man. Like honestly, it meant the world. As like the not only him being the first X Division champion coming to kind of greet me and sing my praises as the youngest ever, like on the day that it happened, but him being Mr. TNA, really. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you asked anyone what's your top five TNA talents of all time, AJ is always going to be number one on everyone's list. You know what I mean? So to kind of have that um nod of acceptance and that for him to sing my praises. And again, like when he doesn't have to, you know what I mean? It was his first time back in TNA, the company that he helped build in over a decade. And he could have just come out and kissed some babies and waved his hand and say hi and bye, you know what I mean? And nobody would have complained. But the fact that he took that time and spent it to sing my praises and put me over in front of my family and in front of the thousands in UBS after what was already such a special moment and a special day for me, is something I'm forever indebted for and forever grateful for, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely, and there's the wonderful photo of you guys sitting backstage.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's like one of my favorite modern wrestling photos because I'm just like that's the president of the X Division there with like you say the founding father of the
Yeah,
X
yeah,
Division. It's just
exactly.
really cool. And also, I need to talk about the Hardys as well, because I know and talk about how much things must mean to you. Like Matt and Jeff, just two of the coolest wrestlers of all time. And
Yeah.
what's it been like really forging a relationship with those two?
Again, man, it's another one of these things where I'm lucky enough to say like it's a dream come true. You know what I mean? Like not many people get to work with their heroes full stop, but never mind a 20-year-old from Bradford, right? So it really is like a dream scenario that I'm in at the minute. And to not only wrestle alongside Matt and Jeff and be in the ring and cut promos with them, but to actually build a relationship with them as people, you know what I mean, within real life where they're helping me on all sorts of stuff, you know what I mean, is something again that I don't take for granted because how many people can say they have a front row seat to observe and learn and kind of see how their heroes are operating on really like a day-to-day basis, you know what I mean? So again, 2025 has been an absolutely insane year, whether it was AJ Styles or the X Division, all the Hardys, you know what I mean? I'm truly, truly been blessed this year.
Nice. And these guys are obviously mentor figures. They'll have tons of advice. But I want to ask you, what would your advice be to someone who's starting their wrestling training for the first time right now? What's the golden nugget you'd pass down?
That's a tricky one, man, because there is so much. I think maybe this isn't necessarily advice, but I would definitely say try and enjoy the learning experience as much as possible because the learning experience never really goes away. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a point where you learn about stuff that you didn't even know existed before. Like, when I first started wrestling, I didn't really know what selling was or what telling a story was, but there's always these different chapters that you can unlock and learn and explore. Um, so just enjoy the process, man. And apart from that, like again, we talked about it earlier, but my big thing is always be as unique as you possibly can, right? Because if you're trying to be someone else, like man, that person already exists. Just be you. You're the only person that can be you. You know what I mean? So whatever that is, whether you have multicolored hair or you have a bunch of tattoos or you're 41 starting training, whether you're 11 starting training, just be you, man, and you'll find yourself along the way.
Nice. And you talk about learning, a place that everyone can go and learn about one of the best wrestling companies in the world, TNA Plus. Go and check it out. Leon Slater. He has the code there for you. It's Leon YIC. Hard to say in
Yes,
a
sir.
Scottish accent, I realise. It's YIC at the end there. But Leon, we've talked about, how your inspirations to you, but I know that there's kids now and kids down the line who will be saying that Leon Slater was the coolest professional wrestler of all time. All right. And the best X Division champion that they see. So thank you so much for your time to do so. So hope you enjoyed that one, team. As always, this was brought to you by our good friends at Akomi and Paisley. So go and check them out. And also, like Leon said, go and check out TNA Plus. Use the code Leon YIC to get a month free trial for that. More to come from the podcast, but I'm going for tonsil surgery, so it might be a couple of weeks off. But when I do see you again, hopefully with my voice still intact, we'll have some more stuff for you. So thank you for listening today, and I'll see you very soon.